When you need to have a serious or an important conversation with someone, what is your approach? Like, really think about that for a minute. Why do you want to have that conversation? What are you looking to accomplish? Do you want them to understand your point of view? Do you have a hidden agenda? Do you want them to align with your thinking? Do you want them to possibly see the error of their ways and eat humble pie? Like, what is really the overall objective with why you want to have that conversation? And you have to be real with yourself, because the more real you are with yourself, the more you're giving yourself the opportunity to grow. Be the Reason is all about human connections. Because no matter how much we think we know how we are being heard, there is one thing that I can guarantee based on my decades of professional experience. Other humans will hear us differently than we hear ourselves. In other words, the responsibility is on us to communicate as effectively as possible, whether in professional or personal conversations. So let's dig in. So here are my thoughts. For years and years, I screwed this up. I approached a conversation completely making everything about me. I wanted my opinion to be heard. I wanted that person to align with my direction. I wanted my feelings to matter. It was all about me. And then I would frequently have the conversation and wonder, why in the world did that not work? And then I began to slowly but surely change my approach. I started to have conversations and enter into them wanting to understand the other person's perspective. It was more about me gaining an understanding on whatever that topic was, instead of me being understood. And holy cow, did that change things. It was a real game changer. It impacted everything, because the real deal is that I cannot control how another person interprets what I have to say. I just can't do it. The only thing that I control are the words that come out of my mouth. So I like to call this connection, understanding versus understooding. It's truly seeking an understanding before I try to have my perspective understood. Let's think about this for just a minute. How do you evaluate when you've had a conversation that's been a really good one? Or when you've had a conversation that was really productive? For me, I look back on those and I realize that those conversations are when both sides really felt heard, when both sides really listened to the other person, and when both sides cared. That is called effective communication. So here is my advice. Embrace the idea of wanting to understand. Enter into that conversation asking questions, and ask questions from a place of having an open mind. Truly want to know. Don't have a hidden agenda. Don't approach it being a little cocky or a little arrogant or already judging what you think they're going to say. Honestly ask questions and find out what their perspective is. If someone comes to me and they have a topic that may or may not be difficult, but it is important to them, and they start asking me questions to genuinely gain an understanding of what I'm feeling about whatever that topic is, I immediately want to connect with them. I want to have a dialogue. And two things are going to happen when you do this for other people. The first thing is that they are going to share with you their perspective. They're going to enlighten you with maybe why they're making the choices that they're making, or the selection, or why they're thinking what they're thinking, or where they're wanting to go and what they want to accomplish. They're going to do that. And perhaps, just perhaps, it might influence your thinking to be different than it was before they answered those questions. But then the second thing is that you make it really safe for them to now ask you questions about your perspective. And that, my friends, is called very effective communication, because you're both headed in the same direction with wanting to understand the other person. And what's really miraculous about it is that you both get a better sense of understanding about what you want in that situation as well. So try it out. Think about someone that you need to have a conversation with right now. Maybe it's your boss. Maybe it's a coworker, a neighbor, a partner, a teacher at school. Could be anyone that you have a conversation that maybe you haven't really been looking forward to. Approach them with an open mind. Try to get an understanding of what their perspective in that situation is. And really listen. And then see if that impacts your current perspective at all. But then sit back and watch them open the door to hear your perspective and to ask you questions. It really is pretty amazing how it all works, but it helps each of us become a more effective communicator. And that's nothing but good stuff right there.